Good morning. Welcome to the Windsor Star News Cafe. I'm Don McArthur. I'm here with Dylan Kristy. We've got a big show queued up for you today.
That's right. Well, we have Kieran McKenzie, who's going to be on, and Windsor mayoral candidate, perennial mayoral candidate, Ernie the Bacon Man.
Exactly. But first, things are getting serious out here. Take a look at this. Drew Dilkins, he's not messing around. Full-page ad on the back of the Windsor Star. Takes some shots at Milson and, praises the record on council. But boom, great reading if you're in the newspaper industry.
Yeah, we like to see that. Lots of charts and graphs, though, and that's the one thing that Dilkins has really been
real Poindexter
trying to separate himself with everyone else. He's saying he's got the facts, he's got the figures to back up what he's saying. And a lot of people are saying at yesterday's Chamber of Commerce debate, that Dilkins was the only real one with substance. A lot of rhetoric being thrown around there, but it was a great showing. Everyone, I guess Larry Horowitz, the takeaway from his performance.
We like him.
He was a likable person. He was a lot more confident than he has been in other public appearances, and it was an interesting event.
Exactly. I had pretty low expectations for Larry Horowitz, and he exceeded them. I thought he showed a lot of passion, a lot of verve, and he sort of spoke from the heart. That was great. There's a great picture we're just showing you up on the screen now. That's from Dan Janice. Has Milson just sort of peeking over. It's between Dilkins and Horowitz, it's a great shot. It's hard to get good photos at, three guys standing at a podium. What are you going to do, right? But Windstar, Janice.
No, we have some great photographers there. There were no real curveballs thrown at them. Dilkins, as far as the Auditor General goes, he says Windsor has an Auditor General.
Yeah, which we don't.
And the current, well, it's tough. When you tell the Auditor General where and where they can look, it's not really.
It's not the same thing. That ain't Sheila Fraser.
No, exactly. And he says that Windsor has held the line on taxes for the last 6 years. On the other hand, Milson says that Windsor doesn't have an AG and that taxes have shot up more than 16.5%. But he kind of made a gaffe there.
Kind of backed off on that too,
Yeah, in the same breath, in the same answer, he said that taxes have gone up 16%, but if he's elected mayor, he will continue to hold the line on taxes, which is pretty contradictory. Kind of goes directly against what he just said.
It does. Now here's Grafton's take on it. We're going to show you. We love him, and there he is. Eddie Francis is cartoon bombing Mike Grafton. There he's behind Drew Dilkins, and again, he's sort of running as the incumbent. He was lockstep with Eddie for 8 years, so that was Grafton's take on it. The other thing that came out in the debate yesterday is John Milson, the Windsor Professional Firefighters Union, they're supporting Milson. He's holding a sign there in this photo, I support public safety. I guess sort of the opposite end of that is his opponent supports chaos in the streets.
Exactly, does that assume that the other people don't?
The other people don't. But it's interesting that Labour has come out and supported him, and of course now the firefighters have come out and supported him because he was asked in the debate yesterday who his hero was, or they were asked right at the end of the debate, which historical figure do you guys most admire? Now, Milson was put on the hot seat for this more than the other candidates because they asked him first, but you could have picked anybody. Could have picked Jesus, could have picked Muhammad, could have picked John Lennon. I mean, historical figure you most admire?
For Ronald Reagan, or for John Milson, it was Ronald Reagan. Now he answered in his very slow and deliberate kind of way. He thought about it, but he said Ronald Reagan, and he actually
kind of fumbled it. Like he was taken off guard by the question clearly.
Yeah, and I actually think he said Ronald Reagan because of a conversation we had on the show
on Twitter and with him, with
Dwight Duncan sent us a YouTube video of Ronald Reagan, and the quote from the video is that I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience. That's how the quote goes. That's not exactly how John Milson remembered it. He kind of pointed out that he's an older candidate, and then he talks about inexperience. It didn't quite come out as I think he had hoped.
Exactly, and then of course, Dilkins had some time to think about it, and he came up with David A. Kroll, the Windsor mayor during the Depression, MPP, ultimately senator. I mean, he was so smooth, so suave, so bang on point that the conspiracy theorists are even wondering, did he somehow know this question was coming? I mean,
well, and then if Dilkins knew the question was coming, it's safe to assume that Horowitz knew as well, because as soon we have a video and we're going to cue that up soon. But as soon as Dilkins says that David A. Kroll, you can see Larry kind of drop his
head. It's like he's been shot. Like it's because he's stolen his answer, and what's he going to do? So let's play the clip now.
Okay, yeah, we'll throw to it.
The last question is a bit different, and it starts with Mr. Milton. Name a historical figure or two you admire and tell us why.
Let's see, Ronald Reagan, because I don't hold his lack of experience or his age. What is it? I don't hold his age against him or his lack of experience. So, Ronald Reagan, bring down the wall. Bring down the walls of communications at City Hall. Open it up again, please. We just got to bring it down. The opportunities that are available for us through collaboration and working together, that's what's important in Windsor.
Mr. Dilkin.
I'm going to keep it a little more local. There's obviously a lot you can talk about in historical figures, but I'm going to say David A. Kroll, who used to be the mayor of the city, then became a member of provincial parliament, and then ultimately a senator. And David Kroll served as the mayor of the city in some of the most difficult times as mayor back in the 1930s, and the Great Depression and other calamities that affected the city. And he went out to the people. He took care of all of the people. He didn't leave anyone behind. And that's the philosophy that I would have as mayor. Leave no one behind. This is a community. We have a shared vision, and we all succeed when everyone succeeds. So David Kroll is the person that I think that, if I'm looking historically in Windsor, that's the person that I admire.
Mr. Horwitz.
You know, being similar as with my platforms, my colleagues have taken a lot of it because they enjoyed it, and thank you very much. Now Mr. Dilkins took the figure Gord Henderson mentioned and that I would pick because I most like him. Senator Kroll, Mayor Kroll, was a great leader in our community, and he brought people together in difficult times. He brought the unions together. He brought the business people together. He made Windsor a great city, and sorry that the similarities exist, but I've talked about Mayor Kroll. I've known his family through the years. I spent a lot of time with his family, and that's a man, and that's a senator, and that's a mayor that I most admire.
Mr. Milson, 30 seconds.
It's almost like I planned this. Jane Boyd, who is my chief of staff in the mayor's office, and I were very proud to name the park in honor of Senator Kroll, and you'll see the sign down there right now. And every time I go down there, I walk through his park and remember the wonderful social programs that he started in Canada, and very, very proud to have been a part of naming that park in his honor.
All right, so there you have it. You can make the decision for yourself. Did he know about it? Was that a scripted response? You be the judge.
Exactly. We're unclear on it, but it was definitely, I like that question. I like that you sort of threw him a curveball at the end of the debate. Again, Craig Pearson, he moderated it from the Windsor Star. I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, again, we got a big day for you today, but 2 editorial board meetings today. Drew Dilkins, like any minute now, he's going to be strolling up these stairs to go meet with the Windsor Star's editorial board. We're not going to film that one. We're sort of trying to keep it a little bit more sacrosanct, but we're going to be live tweeting it, so it's all on the record. Anything they say, boom, it can be held against them. And then at 3 p.m., this afternoon, John Milson, he's coming in for his editorial board meeting. So that's, our columnists, Marty Beneteau, Karen Hall, who writes a lot of the editorials. They're going to be asking some pointed questions. They're still trying to determine who they're going to endorse in this campaign.
Exactly, and of course, Trail Talk will be in there as well. So we'll tell you all about that tomorrow.